Roll call, we can do the reverse. Roll call, everyone's here except for Alan, and Rich, and now Barbara. Hopefully she'll show up in a little while. Getting on to regular business, the minutes are the March meeting. I was not there at the March meeting. I think, however, there are at least three of us here that were. Who was here?
Paul, Aaron, and Tom.
Oh, yes. So you three.
I could make a motion that we accept the minutes.
Presented? Second. You three in favor? Sound like, okay. Aye. Motion approved. Any correspondence that we have, Krista, that you're aware of?
Lynette added this to your
I
packet.
saw that, she had a sticker note on it that said chairman, so I
Yeah.
don't know whether she wanted me to pass it out or.
Yep, I think pass it out and read from it, or just have everybody read it.
Okay, you sent me copies of everything that helps to
Yeah.
pass out, but not of this, so.
Oh, do you want me to make some copies?
Sure, I'll pass
Yeah.
out the others.
Okay.
The other stuff is our annual letter to the residents. Probably all recall that from years past.
And this went out
Yeah,
In
it
March.
went out whenever that says March.
March 26th. Yep.
I think Lynette was just trying to keep everybody up to date with documents. But,
Fine.
okay, the next thing is, goes to our handbook. Well, it's about time. Oh,
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, that's all.
Thank
Everybody's here. Almost.
I think you've seen that. We voted to approve the minutes in March. You were here in March.
I
but-
was, I don't have any issue with those anyway, so I
Okay,
would have voted that way
okay,
had I been here.
okay. The next thing I'm gonna hand out is part of our handbook. It's criteria. Section of the criteria, it's on page 13. Lynette or somebody, maybe it was in connection with this upcoming application. Some language was screwed up and they had the try tos and the avoids mixed up, and so this is corrected. So the point is substitute just for what you have in your current handbook.
Okay.
And I put a check mark near the on the paragraph that was screwed up. Okay, any other staff reports or anything, Krista, that you have?
No,
Nothing?
that's it.
Okay. We're all set. We can proceed to the public hearing. And this public hearing is for a certificate of appropriateness as to exterior features. Replace windows, insert a mulligan, replace additional windows with fixed panels. Replace some other additional windows with a pair of glass doors. At 191 North Cove Road, owner applicant John Kennedy, agent Sabrina Folk of Point One. And Sabrina, would you like to present?
Hello, Sabrina Folk from Point One Art Business. We were hired by the owners of this property on North Cove Road. And the existing house, there's a lot of non-conformities with regards to this property. And I believe that the element that we actually want to do work to was not properly permitted back in the day, which was long before my client owned it. So the portion of the existing house right back here, it's a small addition that was put up, I don't know when, that the client is interested in renovating. Well, not renovating, sorry, they're just interested in replacing the existing windows because they're failing. So I have views of it both on paper, and then I also have photographs that we have photoshopped in order to show you what we're proposing it to look like. So from the water view, this is what the window looks like. It's got two casements, an enormous picture window, and then awnings on the bottom, and two more casements on the other side. And what's happened is that the entire structure is made out of wood and it is rotting. So this window is at this point fairly dangerous because it's bowing and it's about to fail basically. And so the builder and the homeowner want to address this as soon as possible. The homeowners are interested in doing more work on the house. However, we needed to get this moved right away so that the builder can get going on this portion of the project. So that's the reason I'm here. So the rear elevation started with one giant window here, and we plan to replace all of the windows in kind, except for the giant one. We want to put a middle structural mullion in the middle so that we don't have the same problem again. There will be some repair work that's going to be required once we take this apart. We expect a lot of the structure to sort of come apart. We're really hoping the roof doesn't come apart because somebody put a new membrane up there not that long ago, but again, before my client. So all of the work is going to be done from underneath, and we're proposing putting in new foundation, new footings, new beams, and replacing the windows. And then the look of it will be exactly the same. So that was our starting point.
Mhm.
However, because there's always got to be a however. Nothing's easy. So my clients, this is an existing condition photograph. There are 3 casement windows on awning below. There are 3 casement windows awning below. Again, somebody put kitchen cabinetry in front of that window. Have no idea why. However, what our client is interested in doing in the future, they would like to put a deck off here. Now, I spoke to the building official because if in the future we don't get the deck approved, what we want to do is put a door here for the future deck. If it doesn't get approved, the building official said we can put an interior guardrail up and he would be fine with that. Because I knew then it would be an issue if we put something on the exterior, which we're not applying for. So what the client would like to do is take what we would like to do is the panels where we have windows that are blocked on the interior, we want to replace those with painted glazed glass. So it just goes away. So we don't want to replace those windows because they're blocked. And what we're proposing is a pair of doors with a transom above, which we felt was in keeping with the language of what is currently there. I did bring a Marvin window. If you're interested, we're planning on using the Marvin Signature Series, which is their aluminum clad product. And again, based on reading through your guidelines, this is a product that has been accepted, I believe. Within,
Not aluminum,
not the aluminum clad.
no.
What have you approved?
Vinyl clad and AZEK.
What did we approve on the 55? Last time?
We approved, I've got the minutes from December 15, 2016. We approved AZEK trim pieces, composite materials such as AZEK or Trex boards for porch or deck floors, vinyl clad windows with appropriate mullions with 2 panes of glass.
That was for the garage, right? The brand new garage they were gonna do.
That's what I'm questioning. What was that?
It was for a brand new.
Let me just finish this. Provided that the appearance and number and sizes of panes remain the same. And lastly, cultured stone appliques for visible foundation areas. So that doesn't apply here, but
I thought I had read in your guidelines that aluminum clad was.
was included in that? No.
I thought, so I hesitate to use vinyl clad because I actually think the detailing is not as good as aluminum clad, so.
You know, it's hard. I mean, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but aluminum was probably the basis for establishing this commission in the first place
Because of aluminum siding.
because of aluminum siding. So aluminum has a kind of a bad connotation. Maybe aluminum has changed over the years, but people were concerned about the appearance, the lack of authenticity and the fact that it would dent. And so I don't know what aluminum clad, and I'm a little bit concerned about, precedence. If we say, okay, now aluminum's okay, what are we gonna get a flood
I
of it?
mean, realistically, if you say that you'll accept the imagery, but I have to use a vinyl clad window, then we'll just switch our brand from Marvin, who does not make aluminum, to Anderson, who makes a vinyl clad window.
Yeah.
And that's fine with us. I know that, again, I think there was work done on this house inappropriately over the years, and though I can't tell you the rest of the windows are the Marvin aluminum clad. So somebody replaced the windows
No, the existing.
already.
Oh.
Yeah, throughout the rest of the bricks. So again, they're gonna look the same from the exterior, it's
Right.
fine. If you want me to use vinyl, I will. Like, that's not a big deal to me. I just did bring vinyl. And then everything else we would just do out of trucks, like trucks like. It would all be painted and it's meant to go back and look exactly as it is now. We're hoping that we don't destroy this portion, the beams and the flat roof and the guardrails. We're trying not to touch any of that. Rest.
Does anybody else have any feelings about the aluminum clad?
I didn't bring my files of past applications. it possible for you to see the application for 55 North Cove that we looked at our last meeting?
That was the one that was at the March 18th meeting,
Possibly, yeah.
and you'd like to see the plans or?
I'd like to check what was the material for the windows they were installing that we approved.
Let's see. Windows were explained in diagram of the existing garage.
It would be on their application,
Oh,
which I don't have with me at town.
let me go and see if I can find it. I'm not sure I'll be successful with that. Let me go and see.
You by any chance have a
Oh, this says
citation?
they will be aluminum. Barbara asked about the windows. They will be aluminum. The durability of aluminum over time is superior. Aaron asked for details of the east elevation.
Well, that's what
I
I
can
remember.
say that in my experience, and I've been doing this now for a very long, like 30 years, is that I know that Marvin has gone to great lengths to make their windows and their mullion patterns be historically accurate. I have used Anderson as well. My experience with the vinyl cladding is that the vinyl can fade over time. So like I said, I will use vinyl if that's what you'll approve, but it would not be my first choice as a material.
And that's what we were told.
This goes on to say that Aaron wished the windows looked more historic. The design was nice, but the garage doors and the windows should be more historic. Barbara commented that the garage is not an historic building, so it doesn't have to look more historic than it is.
Geez, I wasn't here, right?
But no,
It goes on. to
the
sizes.
architect for that application emphasized that in this day, the aluminum clad is a better product.
In the
than
seventies,
mine. Yeah,
I believe that.
right.
And actually, one of the things from my point of view that I really don't like about vinyl clad is that the frame, like here on a vinyl clad, is picture framed. So there's a miter cut there, which is not authentic to any window that I'm aware of.
I mean, I haven't been here as long as you all, but I have no objections to the aluminum, but I know there's this work.
Well, I mean, I appreciate that you've brought a sample of the product for us to look at and see.
I mean, it's a great product. I'm surprised you haven't been brought it before. So this is a corner section. This is showing simulated divided light. We don't have true divided lights anymore unless we go with wood. So it is a simulated light. They actually manufacture this mullion and the interior one and exterior in many different sizes, depending on the period of the building, because the older houses actually have smaller mullions. So those can be selected to match. In this case, we don't have any mullions. And this piece in the middle is a spacer bar, and they actually do come in different colors. And then the idea there is, and we like it dark, is that it goes away and makes it look more authentic. They were doing them in like silver color, and they don't look as authentic.
Can I actually ask you about
Yes.
the lines here? Is there a reason that you guys chose not to carry this line across to try to make that look like what was there?
That's a great question, and we were trying to buy something that was available, like that's pre-made as opposed to custom patterned.
That's gonna be a door.
It's gonna be a door,
Door.
yeah. Okay. So the goal is, in the future, they would have a deck out here that they can get to from this room. And if we put windows back here, then then they won't be able to use the deck. So I think we understand that that you could say no, like this has to be replaced exactly in kind. And when I spoke with the building official, had we done that, his feeling was the regulations would not require us to come because it was an in-kind replacement. The homeowner is interested in seeing if we can get the doors put in instead of replacing the windows.
And the bar, he's putting the bar there so people don't fall out.
Well, that's if they can't.
There
do the
will
deck and-
be on the interior.
that's what I
a
meant.
guard. Yeah, so that people can't fall out until the deck hopefully gets approved.
Do you know when that was enclosed or that addition was put on?
No, I know who did it. I mean, I know which homeowner did it. And that's all I know. My homeowner's been there for 10
I was
years.
gonna say at least before then. 'cause
Yeah,
I know
exactly.
he's
So my
been there
homeowner's
for-
been there for 10 years. It was done before.
So it's not surprising all that is rotting.
Well, I'm not convinced it was done very well. The biggest thing that, to me, because I sat here one day and there was a cat trap. And I was sitting there looking at this and I thought this thing was cracking while I was sitting there. But what it was the cat jumped down from the factory. I could not believe it. I swear I thought the thing was coming down.
Okay.
So frightened.
Yeah,
It did make it through another winter. 'Cause that I met them before last winter.
You know what the strength difference is with aluminum versus vinyl?
I don't think there's a significant difference. Do you know, in other words, I think quality wise, I think they're both good products. In other words, back in the day when they started coming out with these products, Anderson did vinyl, like that was their thing. And Marvin did the aluminum. There was also a company called Pella. They did aluminum also. So it's just evolved over the years. And again, the majority of the projects we work on, we do the aluminum clad. Just because it is supposed to be more durable, it is supposed to be more accurate. It works well, but Anderson's a good product as well. So,
What's the requirement for the wind?
DP rating of 50 is what we're going. This area is no longer considered a high wind area, so it doesn't need to be impacted, even though they're on the water.
You had mentioned in the beginning on this
Yes.
aluminum versus vinyl
That's okay.
issue. I think that you thought there was precedent for our approving.
I thought I had read it in
And-
either your guidelines or in the Department of Interior's guidelines.
Okay, and that's what we were chatting about
Yeah.
during the discussion. But my question is, did you see anything in the criteria, our criteria, that addressed the issue directly?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Well, I think there is something,
I should have brought my book. I'm sorry that I didn't.
I brought that because, it's under the section called entries. You talk about porches and things like that. One of the things to avoid is applying new material that is inappropriate or was unavailable when the building was constructed. We know when it was constructed. Such as artificial cast stone, brick veneer, asbestos, or asphalt shingles, or plastic or aluminum, but then it says siding, so yes. The principal objection was siding at the time. Let's see, was there something?
and again,
I thought they did specifically talk about windows
they do,
in the guidelines.
yes, they do.
They do, but they say do avoid changing the historic appearance of windows through the use of inappropriate materials. Obscuring historic window trim with metal.
Well, that's again, the aluminum siding, when they used to just cover.
No,
it.
this was under windows.
Oh, gotcha. But even then, yeah, I get it.
Could be a reference to the brick mold with the casing. Covering that
Right,
over with
exactly.
aluminum.
Mhm.
I mean, I think the other thing is that this is not 50 years old. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
right.
So I'm not convinced that this piece is actually contributing to the historic character of the building.
It's probably not. I mean, going back to 55, that was non-contributing difference being this is attached, that was not attached, but I think that's a difference without a distinction.
You probably mentioned, and I'm sorry that I forgot, but the current material of the windows is what?
I believe, I honestly don't know because I can't get up there to touch it. So it could be vinyl, it could be wood. I'm just not sure. I do know that the rest of the house, somebody put in aluminum clad windows at some point, and they used the Marvin signature, which was why we started at that point. But I don't know that whoever did that came in front of the house.
Before my time, I have no idea.
And behind the bushes, is that open or is that stone also?
There's lattice underneath there. Yeah, and we're trying to do everything from the inside so that none of that gets exposed. The builder and I met out there, and it's in bad shape. I mean, the carrying beams are failing. So in order to keep what we have here, we're actually gonna have to build, within so that we don't destroy. We're trying not to destroy anything so that we just get this done. The problem was that you can't just go there and replace the windows, which is really all the client wants to do. Because the minute we take them out, all these, you can see from down below that there's a lot of rot with the trim. So we're anticipating that it's gonna completely fall apart, and so we want to do the face off.
So is that a 3-season room or 4-season?
No,
room?
this is heated and air conditioned. It's part of the house. I can show you that. Version. This right here
Yes.
is the addition. And what's also interesting is we are pretty sure that this was the original brick building. We believe that this piece was added on a long time ago. And then this piece was added, and actually the detailing on this piece is not authentic. So that's like, this is sort of the next thing we want to address is that element, because we're not happy with the way it looks. And we want to have it enclosed. So, but that's the future. That's another visit.
Okay.
Before we go any further, I've made a gaffe here. I did not seat an alternate for this,
Okay.
which I should do. Jessica, I think you're up.
Okay.
Aaron, you subbed for me when I was on the March meeting, so I think you were the last one. So Jessica, you can be the alternate
Okay.
And that's for
the public hearing.
Alan.
I'm sorry, for Alan, yes.
Okay,
hard
I
being
do
chair.
want to say, before I hold my piece, is just that if this was a contributing structure, I would push to have that line go across. But it's not a contributing structure, right? Because we're 6 months older than years. Yeah.
I disagree. That if those are doors, I think it would look strange. That's just my opinion. What that's for.
If we put the bar across. Yeah. Is it okay that there's a transom above? So this has a transom.
Yeah.
So if we need to put a bar across there, I'm sure that, well, I know with this manufacturer, we could get it here that way.
Yeah.
And they can match the thickness of the bar as well.
I just think if it's doors, how's that gonna look to have two little strips of something there.
It's just like mullions and door, like you have in a glass window, right? It just continues the lines across. But again, it's not a contributing structure,
Yeah.
so does it matter?
I guess I could go either way on that.
Just looks like it's upside down.
Yeah.
I think I was sort of thrown by the where the AZAC piece is, because there's 3 panels, 3 over 3.
Oh, because of where
There's down,
exactly.
okay, but in the front, it's
Two.
the 2, yeah.
We're just, this is what's there.
Okay,
So our side was replacing in kind. I mean, actually, if the board felt more comfortable that we get rid of this bottom and we carry the transom line across and like more try to blend it with the doors, then we could do that. Do you know what I'm like, because it's just
You
gonna
change
be
the panel
panels.
dimensions to match the 3 up.
And there's nothing on the interior here because the kitchen cabinetry covers it completely. So that would be easy for us to do.
So, so do those panels look like louvers or they're
These
flat?
ones,
Yeah.
they would just be painted wood,
Oh,
painted AZAC, just to look as recessed panels.
I see, okay.
So this is only from the water side, not from the road.
Right,
Yeah, and barely, I would say at that.
barely.
Well, and this side, especially, which is why we took this shot. This is a water view, done by a drone. So it was out there. We have a drone person in the office. She likes to do this, but you can't see this side, which is where this is. And actually what's also interesting is that site-wise, the grade out here is a full story above than what's here.
Yes,
And then there's a retaining wall. There's actually 2 retaining walls existing here. And there's a bunch of shrubbery trees, which the client is very proud of. Like his landscaping's beautiful.
well, even if those shrubs went away for some reason, a subsequent owner or disease or whatever, I live close to there. I just don't think that it's that visible.
It's not.
Okay, anything else, anybody? Anybody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the application as
As
submitted.
presented, okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. None opposed, so 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate the very clear application that you made and very complete. And again, bringing a sample of the product is appreciated as well.
I think I can also, like, in the future, because we will be back, I can bring you more information on the Marvin product, you know, some pictures and some help, explain its virtues. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You have to close the public hearing.
Yes, is there a motion to?
So moved.
In favor, aye? Thank you. Old business. On the agenda is the CLG grant opportunities. Jessica, did you have something on Main Street business that you might wanna,
well, I did,
doesn't exactly fit into this, but.
notes, so basically Jennifer White from Cottage Flair and Erica Donnelly from Maximus Home have resurrected the Main Street Business Association. But I guess I kind of concur with Lynette's comment that, or notes that, the focus is really gonna be on sort of just Main Street, but events, and sort of furthering retail business. And I don't know who owns their respective buildings.
Yeah.
So that's.
So you're just talking to tenants.
Right,
primarily.
right. I did talk, I think most, I mean, we're building owners. I think Erica might, no, I don't know that she is. I don't know who owns what on Main Street, to be honest with you. But, and I did talk to, Marie McFarland with Historical Society about the signs, and she had said that it was actually Alan Hanser and I met about it, and he was charged with looking into that at one point, and it just sort of fizzled out. I think Marie's thought was that it's something we could look into, but would it be, how would that be orchestrated? Like, would it be done as a fundraiser? Would it be done as a, she wasn't sure how well that would work.
Okay, so you're cooled off a little bit on the Main Street Association.
So I think that the Main Street Business Association would absolutely be, a good
They support it.
organization, absolutely, would be a good support and would be able to get the word out and, even at meetings and things like that. And maybe whomever is in the association can talk to their respective building owners or what have you, or at least get us information or from that. And then I can mention it again to Marie. We meet in August. So at Historical Society.
Yeah.
And see and go from there. But I know Alan did some work on it. I think that the issue was, I wish he was here. He had said that I think the issue was actually the signs and the physical cost of and manufacture of the signs was really to have it done
Mhm.
nicely. But this was a while ago. So
This was a bunch of samples that Lynette gave us. I don't know if you have these. When she went to different towns.
Hmm.
Took pictures.
And took
of
pictures.
stuff with it.
So the sample that Alan gave me was similar to this yellow one, or the one like at the, is that the Grizz?
Yeah.
Across the street. So like sort of like this sort of sign, and they're decent,
Yeah.
they're a decent size. I think it's, I believe, I should have brought the paperwork with me, but I believe the buildings that of any historic significance had been identified on Main Street
Mhm.
up to the like up to the train station, I
Uh-huh.
believe. So I
Okay.
can get that information as well to everybody. So, I mean, obviously it's not, there's certain buildings that I would think would be excluded.
Right.
Right. But, it just sort of never gained any traction.
True.
So do you want to wait to talk to Marie again? And
Let me do that, yes, and then I believe our meeting is August, I don't have my calendar in front of me, August 15th or something, but I see her frequently and I can ask and circle back with everybody here and
Okay.
see. But, she wasn't opposed. I think her concern was, would it fall on the Historical Society to, sort of take the initiative to run? I think it would have, she would want it to be a collaborative.
Yeah.
Project.
I think that's what we kind of had
I
in
think
mind.
that, yeah, I think that's what we envisioned.
Okay, anything else?
Are we talking about old business when you say anything else? That's what we're,
Old business, yeah, that's where we are. Did you bring up anything you want?
I'm checking with Canning to find out when they're gonna do the consolidation. We signed and gave them a deposit for that sign, so I'm nudging them on that. Our interpretive sign has been installed. Hopefully people have seen that. I was thinking it might be nice to do a photo that we put in the little magazine, the quarterly magazine. What's the name of that? Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, and I thought it would be nice to have Erin in this photo and Ann Bowl, the lady who was the Stokes descendant of the remaining Stokes brothers.
And you,
Descendant. That's fine, but not just, you worked, put a lot of work in. That's what I was thinking. I don't know what you guys think, if that's a good idea or not.
Sure.
Just, would put us in the magazine a little bit that we did something. So I've been kind of waiting, I was waiting for the hydrangeas to bloom and they're blooming, so. In decent weather, it was so much cloudy and rainy, cold all the time. So, I bet Lynette would help us again. But I just need to get your availability,
Okay.
actually.
it'd be fun.
Okay,
I never met,
and
yeah, I never met.
yeah, she's a
Love to
trip.
meet her.
She's really sweet and so appreciative that the sign was restored and everything. And she's just very sweet. We can do it and take her go for an ice cream across
Oh,
the
that'd be
street.
fun.
I did that with her once before.
Okay, in this memo that we got from Lynette about staff report and a number of bullets. One of the 1, 2, 3, fourth bullet down, she reached out to Stacy Vero of Preservation Connecticut about scheduling a public workshop and potential topics. She said the HDC can request a workshop for this fall and suggested as topics: resilience for historic homes / sustainability and preservation, and or historic homes tax credit program. And then Lynette says if we would like to go ahead with scheduling a workshop, to let her know and she can contact Stacy. Does anybody have any reaction to that or thoughts about it?
I think a program on tax credits would be valuable.
Mhm.
Doesn't seem like there's a lot of awareness
I agree.
about what's available. Okay, maybe there isn't much available, maybe the upshot, but if they have a program that they can promote, increasing awareness of that would really help people.
Okay, well, we can ask Lynette to go ahead and see if she can schedule a workshop for us on that topic.
And that's another one that I would love for us to partner with the Historic Society, just to get awareness out to town, right, to try to promote it.
Sure.
I think that's a great suggestion.
I do too.
The more that we can educate the residents about, tax
Right.
credits, right, and incentives to
Well,
get
and
them
I
to
think-
preserve the architecture, the better.
That is what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Great. Yes.
How many people do you think would come?
Oh, have any idea?
Everybody that has a historic home?
Well, not everybody, but I mean, they've had pretty good
Tax
turnout.
credits
but
always
we
sounds
think-
good to me.
Yeah, it depends on so many different things that you can't really gauge. And I don't know, the last time, unless my memory is wrong, which it could be, the last time we did a workshop, it was Zoom. And I don't think as many people want to do that. If if we could have it in person.
We can get somebody in person to come?
Right, I think that would be better, but I don't know, It's their time and their,
State legislator?
Stacy, she's a,
Preservation
Connecticut
Connecticut.
SHPO person.
Right.
Would she do the workshop, do you think? Or she would have somebody?
Yeah,
And could we do that here? Maybe
yeah, I think we
downstairs or
could use the
something?
conference room and it would be a scheduling.
Yeah, but why don't we, when you talk to Lynette, say we hope he'll actually send somebody here, not do it by Zoom. I agree with
Or
it.
if that's possible,
Could use that virtual conference room.
right. A lot of people-
Do we want to
Possibly.
do it as a single town, or will we like to piggyback with another town?
Well, we did that for, again, the last thing, and I don't think we got much
Yeah.
participation from other towns, that's the thing.
Yeah, my hope would be that we could, if we partner with the Historic Society, we could use their email list, right? They do fantastic emails that people actually read. And then we could,
But that's not to say we couldn't invite, people, just like
rework.
contact the other historic, the old Lyme Historic District, the, whatever, Historical Society or whatever, and the Essex and say, I'd like to attend, we're having this.
With Norm Needleman being our state senator, whether or not he would help get the person from the state organization down here when we wanted them to. If we invite Essex to participate with us at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know.
This, I think, is the private nonprofit, right? This is Preservation Connecticut.
Mhm.
So. So
Yeah,
not
it's not
very,
a state legislature thing.
and I think they're very accustomed to traveling to places to give presentations and support. The one thing I wondered that maybe when I could inquire about is whether there's a business component of the tax credit. And if there is, maybe the chamber or the Main Street,
Chamber would be good. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
if there is, I don't
Mhm.
know if there is,
I
but
think that should be explored.
we'd want businesses to know about opportunities.
Okay, anything else anybody's got? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor? We shall stand adjourned until August 19th.
Yeah.
Is our next scheduled meeting.